Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the Culture Cousins podcast. I'm Tiffany,
I'm Zerrina.
and we are two cousins criticizing the culture, and we know you can relate. All right, so we are again on episode 7. Gonna begin with our uh, check in. So, what's been up? How you doing?
I've been doing good. Not much has really changed that much. Just I've had a long day today, honestly. Like my son has been all over the place, just making a mess. Like every time I feed him, either the food go on the floor or in his head, in his hair or something.
Mm,
I'm like, can you eat? Like getting him to eat has been a struggle. Like he'll eat, but then after a while he gets to where he wants to just play with it. And like you just want to like play with it and just make a mess, and it's just so stressful because for me I don't really care about messes, but the relatives that I live with, they're big on like no mess, nothing all the time. And I feel like kids, I feel like they need a place to make a mess and
yeah,
run around, despite how you feel about cleaning up. I mean, if you make a mess, clean it up after, but I just feel like kids need a space in the house where they can just make a mess, whether that be like creatively or whatever. um, but like my anxiety be like up because I'm like, okay, sorry, please don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Like,
yeah.
so that's just like that's what my day's been consistent of. Like, just a lot of cleaning up, honestly. Like, every time I feed him, it's like I gotta clean up rice, macaroni, gravy, milk, juice. Like, yesterday, my whole bed smelled like apple juice yesterday. Today it was
Mm.
chocolate milk.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
my day.
Um, well,
And being introverted and trying to avoid people.
um, my day's been like just kind of chill. Today was wash day, and that's why I have this going
Your
on.
hair looks so good.
Thanks. So yeah, that's always. I'm trying to figure out what my next vibe is gonna be. I want to do some braids again, just because it's
You
like
should do blonde braids.
it's just like the easiest. Just with maintenance, it's like the easiest to keep up with.
Right.
But I
You
don't
could
know.
do
I
like
got
some dirty blonde braids,
that
like
might be.
formation braids.
Oh, I like that. That might be a vibe. So I gotta figure something out soon. But that's pretty much it. You know, sometimes it's hectic here, but you know, same old same.
Right.
Trying to stay in a positive mind space. I've been working more so on my that's Nico barking. Been working more so on like some of my content, like trying to go ahead and I did like some reaction videos a while back, but I wasn't really liking them like that. But I think I've found my niche with them.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy about that. Just keeping putting those out, making sure they stay. I keep them up because I have a post and delete issue.
Right.
Um, but other than that, everything's been cool. So, uh, today's well, the last time since the last time we did our episode, there was a cabaret episode that came out. So, what are your thoughts on the last episode?
um, I feel like this episode was kind of slow. Like, it took a while to get to the nitty gritty of like what was going on. But I think it had like good vibes this episode. Like everyone seemed pretty like happy and whatnot. Um, I thought the performances were very interesting. Um, I don't know. I guess like it didn't really bother me, but I just thought it was kind of weird. Like the whole like the fire part of it. Like I was just like, there's like, well, y'all didn't see it. There's like a part of like Jocelyn's like she brought like 5 girls to the cabaret this episode, and like one of the girls like pretty much took a match and like lit her like genitalia on fire. Well, not literally, but the match was on fire and she like put it like in her like crotch area. I was like, okay, that's not sexy. And it was confusing because she, like Jocelyn was like, "This is gonna be discreet, no nudity, all that," and I'm just like, "Okay, this is disgusting."
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I think that's her thing, her little trick that she like to do. But I'm just like, "Nah, girl, did you really have to do that?" And then there's like just the way she was like, the way she was just like standing was just like that was not attractive at all. Like I don't know. I think Raven, like she's very like the one with the short haircut, like the blonde hair. She's very like sexy and like and attractive. Like she's really pretty. Like I feel like physically, like she's my favorite. Like physically, but I don't really like her personality. I feel like her personality is okay as long as she's not with Diamond. Like when she's not with her, she's less problematic. But then it's like when she's with her, she kind of taps into like I don't know, like a different side of herself. And I feel like maybe that's to appease Diamond. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like this with her.
Yeah.
Um, I like the fact that Kate Capri got her time to shine and got a chance to be in the cabaret. It was interesting seeing that Lexi Blow gonna be on the next episode, and I think Jocelyn gonna put her in control, and I feel like she's gonna screw something up. I have a feeling she's just gonna screw something up because I feel like Jocelyn must really trust her. She's gonna put her in charge of the whole cabaret thing or whatever she's in charge of. Um, what else happened this episode? That was pretty much it. Like just really the cabaret, and oh, then she sent her Amber home. And I was like, I already knew she was gonna come back next week anyway. She always be sending people home, and they'll be back for like 3 episodes. Finally go home. Um, but I feel like with the drama, that's why I didn't really remember what happened because in the drama that she like acknowledged in the beginning, we didn't see that on camera. That's just something Jocelyn randomly brought up, which I thought was kind of weird. It's just like no one really knows what's going on, what y'all are talking about. Like I was trying to pay attention, like listen to what Chanel was saying, and I'm just like, what is this? Like we didn't catch any of this on camera, so why even like bring this up? Like if she want to do all that extra stuff, she need to like have like a separate thing for that, like bonus scenes or bonus clips or something, because the audience isn't gonna really know what y'all talking about. That's like behind the scenes type drama. And if she kicking Amber out, and it's kind of leaving the audience confused, like, well, why is she really being kicked out? Because it's just like too much going on. Like it's kind of hard to tell what happened. I don't know. Could you understand what was going on with that? Because because I didn't understand. I was like, okay, this is just a random.
Um, Not really enough to know. I was just kind of sorry, excuse me. I was just trying to like go off what they were saying, but other than that, I was just like, it was involving characters I really didn't care that much about, so I was just like, meh.
Yeah.
Because from that, um, I do believe that Amber is a bit messier than she
Hmm.
like claims to be, and that's just
Yeah.
what that
Yeah.
told me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's all my on that particular scene. That's all I was thinking.
Hmm.
Just for the episode in general. First of all, Chanel stay getting something thrown at her. Like I'm just over her. I want her to go home,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, low key, Chanel is just like, because I feel like she's going through something personally, and I feel like she needs to take time for herself. Like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. We'll see next episode. Maybe you never know, she may improve or be in a better place. But so far, it's just like she's just been kind of there.
Mhm.
Um, it's just like I don't know. I think I forgot her name. Like, it was the one of the white girls on there that always would have the red lipstick on, and she had like
Jordan.
a little Jordan. Yeah, I really like her. She's like real cool personality. Like, I like her. Um. She kind of like remind me of Lexi because she kind of just stay focused and like stay out of drama. Like I like her. Um, yeah, and that's what I have to say about this episode. Nothing really happened.
Um,
And then Lexi dropped that cake. I was like, dang.
but she did a good save.
Yeah.
Like I think that she makes to me she makes a good leader because she's not like confrontational, and
Yeah.
even though like her and Lollipop had that incident, like when it was all in the car, she spoke to everyone the same.
Yeah.
Like she's not
Yeah.
arrogant with her
Right.
privileges.
Right.
Um, and another thing, like just with watching the show, like when Jocelyn get upset, like she turned into a thug.
Right.
It just be so funny because her stance be like, you know, and her
Right.
voice.
She like this.
It's just so funny.
I'd be
Um,
like, why?
hmm um, and Kid Capri, like you said, I'm happy for her. She finally got her moment because she was gonna throw a fit if she didn't.
I swear, doing all them tricks.
Um, and I didn't care what. No, because in my notes, like I abbreviated I don't know, and then just now I was like IDKY, and I'm like, why am I speaking in text like that commercial?
I do that
But
all the time. I'd be like,
really,
I be typing people and I'd be like spelling the PPL.
oh yeah, I was like, what? But that little scene for me, like when she was walking in and it was like in slow mo and she was just waving to the crowd or whatever, like
Hmm.
it just made me want to cry because like, can you just imagine what it feels like with all she done came through and then to see
Yeah.
people out there like supporting her. And then
Right.
also, like after the cabaret was over and all the girls was in there and it was like excited and happy about, their experience and like she was the cause of that. Like those moments just kind of stick
Yeah.
out to me.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and I
it's
guess,
interesting because she has a lot of enemies when you think about it, like a lot of bad blood with people, but
hmm
somehow she just ends up moving on and finding more people that love her and accept her.
yeah.
So,
So I just in my head I would like to experience that in some capacity, like just
right,
that effect of like stardom a little bit.
right,
But and I like her Jocelyn outfit when she did her performance,
right.
and I
I
feel
feel like
like
I feel like background people, they should have had red outfits too, or
yeah,
like maybe like a clear or black or something, not pink. It look weird,
yeah,
but it's still everybody still look cute though.
mhm. But I really like hers and a little hat and fur. It was like cute. Um, and like she's a really good performer. Like I feel like
Hmm.
she is like super committed to her act. She
Yeah.
looks out in the crowd. She gives a lot of people eye contact.
Hmm.
Like I feel like she gives the money worth of whatever you
Hmm.
pay. Um, and like the audience was really turned up on that show. Like I could feel it through the screen. Like the
Yeah.
energy was
Right.
crazy in there. Um, and I remember people saying like Jocelyn want her career to be like Cardi B and she
Hmm.
mad. But I feel like Jocelyn is doing exactly what she meant to be doing. Like that's
Yeah.
her lane for sure. Um,
Right.
and just like my last thought, I feel like the boob jobs the girls got, like that must give them like some super uh superhero confidence because they be walking around with their tops off like they dudes. I'm like, yo, what's going on? But
Right. It literally for no reason. Like they be like, "Hey, girl, hey," start taking down your shirt.
I just don't
Like,
understand.
they just take it off for no reason. And really, some of them don't need to be that confident anyway with some of the boob jobs they got. Cause, honey, it
And
just be looking really like fake. Like,
mhm. Yeah.
but I mean, hey, there's no reason not to show it. I'm just saying,
Yeah, but
relax.
they be doing the most. But yeah, and just like eventually I guess I would like to see a documentary from Jocelyn. Like
Hmm.
I want her to talk about her story and be vulnerable because she always give like such a hard exterior.
Yeah.
I would like that from her. Following like Nikki's thing, I would like that from her.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for a cabaret for me. Did you have any topics you want to go over?
What did you watch this weekend?
Mm, really, my show intake uh wasn't that much. I watched maybe All I Knew, which is a show based on someone's life, but it's about this guy who goes to well, he's a football star and he has to go to like he leaves his like urban hood to go to like a predominantly white neighborhood and then he makes friends there and relationships and it's just kind of like navigating through the both of them. But
Hmm.
he's like really a impressive kid, like stand up kid, like because some of the morals and things that he stands up for are like as a high school student, like I wouldn't expect a lot of kids to do.
Right.
So he's really a mature character. But it's a lot of things that I like about that show. They talk about
Mhm.
like marginalized communities and how we are black people are at a disadvantage in the school system, and just how like athletes and politics work, and it's very interesting, but
Mhm.
it's overall a good show. Like it's not super like they're pushing it in your face, but within the story they hit those points, and I
Mhm.
enjoy watching that.
Right.
um but that's pretty much it, I think.
Um, this weekend I watched a lot of stuff this weekend. I was watching The Wiz and I was so bored. Like I came up with a list
Mhm.
of like I showed you like the list or whatever
Mhm.
of like the people I would recast if they were to do it today. And these are some of the people that I picked. Because if you haven't seen The Wiz, then I'm gonna need for you to see The Wiz. Cause but for like Dorothy, I think Halle Bailey would be a perfect for that because she's the only person I can think of that kind of reminds me of like a young Diana Ross because of her very like sweet voice and like her kind of like she's very like small and like I feel like she could play like that timid character very well. Or and if not her, then I probably pick Normani or Coco Jones. I feel like Normani can do a lot of the dancing part. I feel like she's really good at that. But I can't really think of anybody like that age. Um, for the Scarecrow, I would say either Chris Brown or Childish Gambino, just because I feel like Chris Brown, he got a dancing down pat. But I feel like Childish Gambino, like I feel like the Scarecrow is very like timid, and like I feel like Gambino can really capture like that like scared like awkward part of the Scarecrow. I feel like he can portray that very well, and like he's very like goofy, and I feel like he can really capture those like goofy like broken up like dance moves. And he has
Mhm.
like that like very angelic type voice, kind of how Michael Jackson had. And for the Tin Man, I would say Anderson Paak because he has like that raspy voice that the original character had. The original person that played him, and or Will I Am because Will I Am is really good at those like robotic movements, and it won't sound the same as the original, but I feel like he can portray the Tin Man really well. Um, and for the Lion, I put CeeLo Green and or Charlie Wilson, Bruno Mars, Usher, or John Legend, or Neo. Neo, I feel like would be good because I feel like he played some in one of these movies where he had like a prosthetic on. He was playing some kind of animal or something, or he was playing some kind of like character, and I think he'd be really good at that because um I feel like he has that a good like old school sounding voice even when he talks. And I feel like he can really like sing that Lion song part really really well. And Charlie Wilson has that very seasoned voice. But for me my top person for the line would be Neo or Bruno Mars. Um, and for the Good Witch, I picked Felicia Rashad because the original person she was played by Lena Horne, and I feel like I was trying to get like someone who is also like a very seasoned actress,
Mhm.
and Felicia Rashad is like a very seasoned actress that people look up to, and I feel like in the same way. And I feel like if you were trying to maybe get someone that's more funny to do it, I would pick Niecy Nash or Monique to do the Good Witch or Brandy because I feel like she's the vocal Bible, and like I feel like Halle Bailey would be someone that she could look up to, how like Dorothy looked up to the Good Witch. In the Bad Witch, I picked Queen Latifah just because Queen Latifah actually played Ursula in Little Mermaid on Broadway, and she did that really, really good. Like she has that very strong voice, so I definitely either pick her or Taraji P Henson. I feel like she would play that really good, and I picked Lizzo as well because I feel like Lizzo's face will look really like interesting in those prosthetics because she has such like a round face and high cheekbones. So just like picturing her in like those prosthetics they may choose for the bat, which would be really cool. Um, and the Three Crows, I picked either Carlos Miller, Chico Bean, and DC
I'm
Young
rooting
Fly
for
because
that one.
right. Because I feel like they were low key roasting the Scarecrow, and I feel like they'd be perfect to do that, or either them or the Migos. But I feel like the Migos would be my first choice because I feel like they be trying to act all cool all the time, and I don't know if they can tap into their funny side. But I feel like if they get paid enough, they probably could. And for the Wiz, like the Wiz originally played by Richard Pryor, so I probably want someone that's kind of like similar, not similar, but like our Richard Pryor of today. And like I really want the Wiz to be funny, like a comedian or like a funny actor. and I would either pick Kevin Hart, or Jamie Foxx. Some people I was talking to about it was saying like Eddie Murphy and like Martin Lawrence, but I was like, no, just because they're such at a high status, like they're very like seasoned actors, and it's just like I don't want like people that big in it because it's just like it automatically becomes the Will
Mm,
Smith movie, or it's just like it'll be like too much, I feel like. Um, and plus like the Wiz doesn't have to be like a singer. He wasn't doing a lot of singing in the movie. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Um, Something else I watched was this movie called Gifted Hands, and it's about Ben Carson. He's like a brain surgeon, and I watched it like in middle school, and it basically tells his story about how he came up with all these like science, like all these like ways to cure like kids that had like severe brain injuries, like seizures and conjoined twins and stuff like that. That's a really good movie. Because his mom couldn't read, and that's why she would always like make him like really like influence him to read more because she couldn't read and she was so scared that her kids were gonna end up being like her. Um, Another show I watched, Love Is Blind on Netflix, and like I really low key hate this show. Like I couldn't even get through it because like the last season I watched, it was good, and it was basically if you haven't watched it, it's like basically like you is like I think like 14 people, 14 men, 14 women. They date each other basically, but they don't get to see each other until they decide to propose. And like I think it's crazy because they don't get like a week to figure out who they want to be with for the rest of their life and propose to. Of course you can always say no, but I'm just saying like that's like a quick decision. Like they have to pretty much date you without seeing your face and like just connect through like the little wall or whatever. And like the show is supposed to be like Love is Blind, so you can't judge anyone based off their appearance and their background and stuff like that. But for me, my issue with the show is like everybody on the show is pretty much attractive. Like, I mean, of course that's an opinion or like that's like you can go back and forth that who's attractive, who's not, but like they're generally desirable like within their own community. It's not like it's not like people are like look crazy on there. You don't got people that's like 600 pounds, or you don't got no one that like with any disabilities who wouldn't be considered conventionally attractive, which I think defeats the whole purpose because either way, it's like you're not getting someone that's completely like out the park. I mean, they may have like a few nerds on there, but they don't be like super, super like looking crazy or nothing like that. And I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the show if you're gonna have a bunch of attractive people on there. And it's just like, and then my thing is they don't everybody that they introduce on the show don't end up being like on the show for the rest of the term because they have the first few episodes basically when they're in the little boxes and they're meeting each other, and then when they propose, like they go on like a honeymoon and meet each other's families, and then you go to the wedding part of it. But like they were introducing a like there were some plus size black women there, but for some reason they didn't showcase them, or maybe they didn't get proposed to, which sucks because it's just like there was only like one black couple on there. And I feel like reality TV
figures.
should like portray black couples more. And of course, she was like tiny and light skinned, and her dude was dark skinned or whatever. Like it's just so typical, and it's just like they always do that. Even on the last season, they had a bunch of like other black women in the background that never really got to be on the show for the rest of the time. But it's just like why would you even introduce anyone if you're not even gonna keep them on the show?
Got to meet
Um,
their diversity
right.
status.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I watched this weekend that stuck
Okay.
out to me.
I saw on the internet that Nick Cannon show is being canceled, and
All
like
he does is
really,
talk about his babies.
um, it's and aside from that, like even where we are locally, like that show comes on at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like
Right? I never be seeing it.
how are you gonna expect to have audience and ratings? Like I feel like they set him up for failure.
Yeah, low key.
Um, and he has a lot of jobs. Like
Yeah,
sometimes you just spread yourself too thin. Like
definitely.
I feel like he need to focus on his other avenues of business and don't worry about that show because
Right,
it's not even on at a time where we can fully all we get is clips, so that's all we see because that's all they promote. So
right.
I think I actually saw one episode in full. the whole
Mhm.
time, and it's just like, what was the point? But
Yeah, I mean, I like Nick Cannon. I like his personality, but I feel like a lot of shows are getting canceled too. Like The Real supposed to be getting canceled, Wendy Williams show getting canceled, and I don't feel like it's necessarily like. Well, I feel like some people are saying like it's like they're trying to like silence black people and black creators and black talk shows,
mm,
but I don't know. I feel like that's also an aspect of it because I'm not saying that's necessarily not true, but I just feel like people don't watch people don't watch daytime television anymore. Like
but
um
look at the shows that you mentioned, predominantly black or people of color.
yeah, and but I feel like our demographic isn't really checking for that kind of stuff anymore. Like, and I mean, I feel like if Wendy Williams show came back, they would watch it just because it's like Wendy's big return. But I feel like a lot of reasons because of the pandemic and TikTok. And I feel like that's like an aspect of it. Like I'm not saying like that's not true. Like they're trying to like for like they're not trying to get like black shows off the air and nothing like that. But because I feel like The Real has been running for 8 seasons. It's been running for a really long time. So I feel like why are they just starting to do that now? I don't know. But I feel like it's a lot of it has to do with like people just not really being interested in it because like I haven't really been watching The Real Nick Cannon show. Like, I mean, if I really wanted to watch Nick Cannon show, I would go out my way to watch it. And I just, I just haven't been watching it. Like, because every clip that I see, he just kind of talking about himself. And I feel like there are so many, like, different outlets you can consume media and so many different personalities. Like, even just on TikTok alone, like, they're creating their own, like, little talk show just for a little 60-second video. So I feel like there's just so much content. Like you got the Joe Budden podcast, you got this, you got that, you got all these different YouTube channels. So it's just like you pick and choose where you want to consume your media from.
well, yeah, that's true, but I also feel to add to that, I kind of feel like we also need to hear maybe of some white shows or other shows being canceled because like black influencers and content creators, like they have a fight and a struggle on other realms of like platforms. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that it's a lot of white people or whatever. I guess there would be the dominant race there. Um,
Hmm.
like they have plenty of you know, uh, presence on social media, and I
Hmm.
don't see, I haven't heard, or at least any of their shows being canceled. So
Hmm.
that kind of makes sense if you think about it. But
Yeah.
I'll have to do more, I guess, more research because I'm not informed on their cancellations. But
Yeah. I mean, of course, like the white people shows are being canceled, and I feel like a lot of the white shows are like The View and stuff like that are geared more to like older like white people, and I feel like with the black shows they're trying to gear it more to like our age group. But then some of our age groups aren't really watching it, so I don't know.
yeah, I just
And
think like
like older white people are always gonna be sitting down watching TV. So especially about like controversial stuff, like because The View is a very serious show. Like in the Wendy versus compared to Wendy Williams show, where it's like very like funny and like gossipy and not really like talking about always very serious issues all the time. So
yeah, but then there's also people like Kelly Clarkson, Ellen, um, who else? Like that maybe the generation after the people from the View, but I don't know. But I wouldn't doubt it. It wouldn't shock me if
yeah.
that's the case. Um, LL Cool J was trending on Twitter for his response. I saw one tweet that this came from Carlos Miller initially about him in the videos just doing like wild stuff.
Right.
Um, but nonetheless, wherever it came from, he decided to address it on TikTok of most places. I was like, "Hello, Cool J got TikTok," but
Right.
um, and to be honest, this is the most of LL Cool J personality I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen him talk on anything. Like,
Really?
I've never seen that. I've only heard his songs. or
Yeah.
his shows or movies. Like I've never seen him
He
personally
has a
talk.
really cool personality. Like I watched some of his interviews and he's like I like LL Cool J, like his personality. He's really like down to earth and like
Hmm.
very easygoing. He's very like unproblematic outside of some of these tweets. He's just very like sexual. Like everything has to be sexy and oiled up and drippy and like that's a lot of his music videos are like it's just very
Yeah.
unnecessary stuff. Like but he seems pretty unapologetic about it. I'm like, well dang.
He played into that role that they gave him.
Right,
Um
right. He was definitely trolling back then.
hmm
Like I cannot.
but I like that he thought about it and he kind of gave and like he
I love
was
when celebrities do that. And like when
yeah,
there's like a joke going around, they just acknowledge it. Like
join
that's what I
in the
like about
fun
right. Like
because some
you
artists take
know,
themselves too seriously.
right, right. Like you see all this going on.
Hmm. Um, but that actually that was it for my topic list. You got anything you want to
I
discuss?
wanted to discuss like Lil Durk in
Mm,
India. Like I'm just so sick. Like it's 2022. Why are we still talking about body counts? Like and it's like he talking about some basically Lil Durk was just like the only reason he like the one of the main reasons he proposed to his girlfriend in India was because she had such a low body count. And like for me, it's like one, how do you know she was telling the truth? Like,
that's true.
because girls be lying. We always say three, no matter how, whenever if you ask, we're always gonna say three, three. So I mean, she may have not saying she's lying or anything. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, how do you know she was even telling the truth? Like, even if she was being honest, you'll never truly know if that's like the case. And then just like hypocrite, hello, like he has India is a stepmother of eight.
Mm,
She's a stepmother of eight. Like, and you're sitting here talking about you don't want no girl that's passed around. Like, and it's like I always knew there was something off about them because everybody always posting talking about some relationship goals and why? What have they done to prove that their relationship goals? Because she's pretty and he's a rapper, and I don't get it. I asked my friend about it, and she was just like, he really talks highly of her, and like I guess that's kind of what girls want in their dude, and like I feel like girls a lot of times they want like the hood dude that's romantic at the same time, and I feel like they think that's what Lil Durk is, but I was like, no, there ain't no way, because there's no hood dude that's romantic, you know.
you saying that they don't exist?
I'm not saying they don't exist, but there's always gonna be some type of toxic stuff mixed in with that. That's
Mm,
gonna like I feel like that will overshadow it for me. Like, okay, he's romantic, but you also remember you have a hood dude, so he's doing whatever he's done to make you call him a hood dude. That stuff is gonna come into play and affect your relationship
mm,
one day. So that's why I feel like that's not really like that should not be glamorized, you know. That's why I
hmm.
never got why people were so obsessed with them. Um, And I guess people think like Lil Durk is attractive. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, I don't really. He's not my type, I guess. Cause we discussed this. My dude, I like him to be pretty clean cut, and yeah. So I won't roast him too hard. But my thing is like I don't want to be mean, but yeah, he's not for me. But I just feel like that's toxic, like the stuff that he's saying. So it's like imagine all the other stuff that he probably thinks that he doesn't even say, like just based off that one comment about having a body count. And it's just like a person's body count doesn't really mean anything. It's just like I feel like a lot of men they like place the value on a woman based off how many men she's been with, how she dresses, who she's dating, da da da. It's just like it doesn't really matter. And I mean, I feel like, for those two, it probably doesn't even matter because at the end of the day, she wants to be with him. They've been together a long time, so whatever I say really don't matter. But I just feel like in general, like it's just just a bad way to think about people. Like, and it's like I just don't feel like they are not a couple I look up to, um, or I would ever look up to because like I did go through a period of time where that's what I wanted, like the little hood dude, romantic dude, like. But it's just like I tried it and it's not it. You never see them. They always be gone. So it's just like they're just very, very toxic. And it's like I'm not saying you can't be romantic and still be like a hood dude or whatever, but it's just like there is so much else that comes with it. If it's not that, you gotta deal with 8 other kids, 8 other baby mamas, all that. It's just like it's just we try to get them, to get them. Like I'm over it. I want to talk about Kim Kardashian. She's been trending because she wants us to work. Apparently, get up and
Oh
work.
my God. Wait, hold on. Before you get to Kim, just with this little Dirk situation, uh, I mean, it's a double standard, clearly. When it
Yeah.
comes to men and it comes to women, like I get why some guys may feel that way. And I feel like you know, I believe that like people talking about this, and some people are upset, but I feel like each person's like requirement for who they want to, I guess, spend the rest of their life with, it's gonna vary. And I feel like if you don't not get with him, like the kids and stuff, like yeah, it's very contradicting. But again, it's a double standard. So the beginning of like men adolescence, they're taught or teased about, getting women. And, if you're doing that so consistently for a certain amount of time, then, sometimes things like that happen where you have the
Right.
kid. I'm not excusing it, but that's just how it is. And I do believe that things should be equal, like, between men and women, like voting and like equal pay for a job and that type of thing. But i'm I'm not really um I guess offended by what he said, because I feel like sometimes double standards are sounds bad, but sometimes double standards are existing for a reason. Like I feel
Hmm.
like I don't want to date in the same manner that a guy dates. Like
Hmm.
I just don't like, it doesn't even feel natural to
Hmm.
me, to because I feel like the girls that choose to get involved with a situation like that, especially if they got like multiple kids, like even with Nick Cannon, like
Hmm.
we do hold the men accountable, but like the women are choosing to do this. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they sit down and they have conversations about, this is gonna be this X, Y, and Z, da 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 da. Da. So I feel like uh when he said that about her, like I feel like it's almost similar to like when people say, I need someone that's a good communicator because
Hmm.
I'm not the best communicator, so they can help me,
Hmm.
like kind of uh get through that.
Yeah.
So in that case, I mean, it's different, of course, but sometimes the things that we lack or we don't have, we look for it in our
Hmm.
significant other. So I mean, and that's like a tradition type of thing. Like depending on how you brought up, like,
Yeah.
you have certain mindsets. So
Right.
I get both ends of that. But
Yeah. I don't get his in
yeah.
at all. Cause that's just toxic to me. Like just shut up. Like he needs to keep his mouth shut and keep his thoughts to himself. Cause it's like we're living a new day. Like I just feel like you're just kind of policing people's bodies. Like so what? Like who cares? Like and if you feel weird about as far as STDs and stuff, then let's go to the doctor and get checked together. If that's the case. If you feel that weird about it.
That's
But no,
true.
but they're not gonna do that though. When's the last time you been to the doctor?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everyone, again, and I think it's also like the delivery of what you say and
Right.
how you say it.
Right.
So
Because I feel like it would be different if he wasn't like determining her value. You know, if it wasn't he was saying like this is why I proposed to her. Because it's making it seem
yeah,
like okay, if you have sex with so many people, you shouldn't be a wife or and it's just like that's not right. You shouldn't. That's not right at all. It's like you don't determine a woman's value by that. But I mean, at the end of the day, that I just don't like that he said that. But at the end of the day, I know my worth and my value or whatever.
yeah,
But it's just like. That's just not right. Because what are you telling to your fans or something and stuff? Because you have a lot of fans that are young women. So it's just like, even though what he said is personal, and if that's what he wants his wife to be, then that's his prerogative. But you have to realize when you're a celebrity, whatever
Yeah.
you say is going to affect people when you speak on a big platform. Especially when he rarely ever really says, "Well, I don't
Mhm.
know." I never really see him say anything about that. When he rarely says like his opinion and stuff, and I really don't listen to Lil Durk like that, so I guess I wouldn't know if you said something like that before. But it's just like you got to remember, like, a lot of people are listening to you, a lot of young men are listening to you, and so when
Yeah.
they say, okay, well, and like dudes love some Little Dirt, so if they hear him say that, they be like, yeah, yeah, he's right, he's right, he's right, and that's gonna transfer among a bunch of communities, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, back to this Kim Kardashian
Ugh.
situation.
I'm so over Kim. Like, you know
I'm
how
so
you
tired of seeing both of them on social media, like Kim and Kanye.
um you know how like you can follow a topic, a trending topic or whatever. Like I wish there was a button where I could just like dismiss
Right,
anything Kim Kardashian related because that's another contradiction. Like
right,
she in the same category as Dirt because
right,
ma'am, like it done been so many tweets that I've read like with like lists on like probably over 50 of things that she's done to aid her career that was
right.
aside from working.
And like, I'm not even gonna roast her like that because people are already been doing it for me. But I just feel like that just shows you how disconnected they are from the rest of the world. Like, it's just astonishing to me. Like, and it's like, for me, I didn't like how she said that. Don't be cursing at me, Kim Kardashian. I didn't like that at all.
Some people sound weird just cursing like why?
Right,
Like her voice is too like, you know.
right. And it's like, that seemed kind of like you saw something earlier that day that made you say that or something. Like, where that came from? Like,
And
and
then
it's
the
like,
rest of them join in. That's so true.
right. And like Chris was looking like, that's like, you probably shouldn't have said that. And it's like, I feel like being a businesswoman that you are, I feel like she probably would have had, even though people are saying like, oh, she hasn't worked and she doesn't know, I'm pretty sure she probably has a lot more valuable advice than that. Because it's just like, either way, like she has like had a good somewhat career, and I'm sure out of all the stuff that you've been through, that's the one thing that you tell me. Like you could have said something a lot more valuable and or anything else than that. Like that's not helping anybody start a business plan. That's not
I
anybody.
know.
That's not helping anybody get up out of bed if they're struggling with depression. That's not helping single moms get daycare by you saying that. That's not inspiring anybody. You know.
She probably thought that that was going to get her like, "Ooh, yeah, Kim. That's right."
Right.
And it was like the
Like I don't,
opposite.
right, it wasn't it, and it's like I feel like I feel like the Kardashians don't realize like now this generation now is not gonna let stuff like that slide. Like you can't just say a bunch of problematic stuff and have such a aggressive tone like that in this day and age. Like we're gonna call you out on that and tell you like, no, that's wrong. You don't. That's not right. Like because I feel like when they first Kardashians first came out, they could just say whatever and people will either agree with it or ignored it, but they were just like it was just whatever. They can say whatever they want and not be judged or anything like that. Like, but now I feel like they still have that same mindset, but it's in a different time, and it's like we're gonna analyze stuff and we're gonna like make you feel bad about you whatever you say that's bad or whatever. And I just feel like she just shouldn't have said that. Like there's so much other stuff you could have said, but you chose to tell us to get up and work during a pandemic where people have been
Okay.
pretty much sick for the past 2 years, struggling, haven't been working, can't work, haven't had any type of money. But yet you want us to get up and work and talking about people don't want to work these days. You're right. She was right about it because I don't want to work. I don't want to work these days. So you're right about that part because, but it's just like that just shows you how disconnected they are. Because they can
Mhm.
get up and work and then go away on the island or something.
Mhm. Or
And
work from
then,
the island.
right. And like, also, like her and Kanye still in the media about, I don't know. It's just like for me, it's hard to even root for Kanye anymore. Because something else I did watch this weekend was his documentary on Netflix, which is really interesting. Um,
Oh, can we say that for next episode so I can
sure.
watch it? I ain't
So
seen it.
yeah, it's really good. It's long, but it's not boring at all. Like it's really good. But that makes you feel good about Kanye West is my thing, and it's just like when you see all the stuff that's going on with him now, it's just like I don't know. It's like it's kind of hard. I can't even pick sides because they're both very wrong. Because remember last week when I was telling you about how how you have biracial parents and like the white woman is very just
Hmm.
like she benefits from being white, but she may have a disadvantage from being a woman versus like a black man um having advantages because he's a man, but having disadvantages because he's black. That's
Hmm.
what's going on right now with these two. Especially now that they're at odds, they're kind of blaming each other because Kanye is being overly aggressive and trying to really like showcase his manhood, but Kim Kardashian is also like kind of pushing away all the black stuff that she's been absorbing for so long.
Hmm.
So, which is interesting to see how that's playing out. And I feel like with like reading some of the text messages, I kind of feel like North like doesn't want to be around him anymore for whatever reasons. But I don't really don't think he should be around his kids, honestly, because the way he's been acting, I don't feel like he's being like normal. And I feel like he needs to, whatever like he has going on mentally, he needs to take care of that so he can be around his kids. And I mean, if he's doing this for a publicity stunt, then I don't think he need to do all this because I mean I feel like people gonna love Kanye regardless, no matter what he do. Like if he put out a new
Yeah.
project, people are gonna listen to it, because he's an icon. Like people are always. I feel like he doesn't even have to do that. He can just he's. I feel like he's at a point in his career he doesn't have to do any promotion or anything like that. He can just release something and people gonna listen to it. And I feel like he's better off doing it that way at this point in his career because he's not married to Kim Kardashian no more. And I feel like I can't. I'm never gonna root for Kim Kardashian in this situation. I just rooting for his kids, I guess you could say, because I don't want them to be like at harm. And I feel like he's not creating a safe environment for them at all. Like, and like Kim Kardashian being white and just being who she is, she's gonna use that even more against him.
Hmm.
And I don't know if he realizes that or not. But at the end of the day, you never know what's really going on with these celebrities. If he's just doing this as a tactic or what, or if Kim Kardashian really is in on it, because I don't know. It's just crazy. He threatening DL Hughley. Like, what's going on?
I wouldn't be surprised if this is all planned and calculated because
Right.
I was either on Twitter or something, and they were like, it was a picture of it's so many other girls. I don't know who was who, but maybe Chloe daughter in Chicago, Dream
Hmm.
in Dream in Chicago, and Dream was photoshopped in the picture.
Yeah, I saw
But
that.
they put the picture out because something was about to be released with Travis Scott or something like that, and they was
Mhm.
getting ahead of it, like to show that they was like bonding or something like that.
That's
And I
so
was
weird.
and like when you look at the picture, her head was like sitting like you could tell it was something different, and
Right.
everybody in the comments like Photoshop, 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 and the fact that she didn't say nothing like. But yeah, that was wild. So yeah, that wouldn't be surprised if like all of this was like. I don't think Kanye is too much predicted because he's like unpredictable. But when he does something, she's definitely sitting down and saying, "Oh, well, I should say da 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 da, and I should do da 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 da," like for sure. But yeah, um, hopefully it works out. You know, they get it together. I can hear you. Your mic on mute, I think.
But I was like, they not.
Yeah.
But what else I want to? Oh yeah, like on TikTok, I saw this dude. Basically, he was homeless, I guess, and he moved into his office at
Mm.
work, and I was like. are you kidding me? And then literally, probably 2, 3 days later, they evicted him and fired him for doing that. It was like, what do you expect? How long you think you're gonna be able to live in your work office? And it's just like he's like, I'm doing this as a protest because they're not paying me enough to pay for my living, and they might as well just let me live here. And it's like I get the point,
What you was trying to do.
but I don't like the execution because that's hurting you more than it's helping you. Because now you don't have a job and you don't have nowhere to stay.
Mm.
I just don't understand that. And it's just like, get it. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be like Kim Kardashian, get up and work. But it's just like, if you already have a job and you're already going to it, why would you jeopardize that just to
Maybe
make a
find a
point?
lesser expensive place to stay.
Right.
Um, or you could have stayed in your car or something like.
Right. Like,
And um, you put it on TikTok.
right. Like,
What?
and he was in there blasting music. And he's talking about some of his favorite meals, pineapples and ham with sriracha sauce on it. And then he kept eating that all over the place. He gonna put like 8 cans and a bunch of pieces of ham in the in the refrigerator at the job. I'll send you those videos later. And then he was sleeping under his desk. He had made a little pallet under his desk. He had like 8 cans of pineapple, the sriracha sauce, taking up half the refrigerator at his job. It's like if you gonna live there, be discreet.
Wait, no, because all I had saw, because the shade room has posted, all I saw was him putting stuff in the cubicle. One, that was a
He
pretty
was doing the
large
most.
cubicle, but I didn't know all the other stuff about.
He was playing music, walking around with his shirt off, and nobody was there, saying hey to the janitor at night. He was violent. Like, be discreet. Now, I would just brought my blanket and maybe like a few things or snacks or something.
That is hilarious.
He was
Oh,
dancing all over the place, like wearing a onesie with his chest out. Like, it was
yo,
crazy. And then I think then he moved out of one cubicle and moved into another because he didn't like it or something. I'm like, what? What is going on? Like, I was just so astonished by that. And it's just like,
please, please send those to me. I'm gonna cry. I know I'm about to cry now.
but I know you probably want to talk about these $500 jelly shoes.
You know what? I'm so done with these labels doing this. Like they do it over and over and over. They could. I'm trying to find something in my area that's black. I remember they had the bonnet, and they called the bonnet something else, and they priced it like
Hmm.
triple. I can't. Like I did a reaction video to this, so I'm trying not to repeat the same thoughts, but it's just valid. Like
Right.
how can you how first of all, what made me more upset is black people because y'all want to rap Gucci this, Louis this, and the
Right.
people done made a campaign with a noose around the neck, not Gucci. I don't think it was Gucci, but they all the same. A noose around the neck. Uh, Everything that you can think of that's insensitive. They don't have no black people that work there. They put one black person on their campaign, and y'all think that gives them the right to rip off stuff from our culture and overcharge us for it.
Right.
Like that just make when I saw that made me so upset. And
Right.
jellies, they even had the same design as the original shoe.
It's so ugly. Like, how
You
could you
could
do
have
that?
at least them people that's sitting in the office and making thousands and trillions and billions of dollars. You could at least have them look at the shoe and say, this is a good foundation, but what can
Right.
we do to make it our own?"
Right.
They just stuck 2 G's on it.
No, I cannot. Man, they always do that.
And it's so annoying. And then we as black people, some of us, some of them, is gonna go out and buy it and take a picture on Instagram with the feet up, just so you can know that we spent $500 to get ripped
Right.
off.
For me,
Like,
it's like the way I view money is like if I'm paying for one thing, I feel like it should be cheaper. Like if I'm like I wouldn't buy a pair of diamond earrings that for like $10,000. So I feel like this is so tiny. Why am I spending so much money on it? But if it's like a big bed that costs $10,000, that would make more sense to me because it's a
yeah,
big bed and I can use this for a long time. Not saying you can't keep the earrings for a long time, but it seems like so easy to lose, and that's why I feel like things that are smaller in my head shouldn't cost that much money. Or if I'm buying one thing, it's hard for me to spend a lot of money on one thing, but I'll spend a lot of money on like a big clothing haul or something because I know I'm
yeah,
getting like a lot for my money.
and that's logical. That's like the logical way to look at it. Like, I don't like spending a lot of money on small stuff either, especially like um earbuds and stuff or
Hmm.
glasses, because I typically lose stuff
Right.
like that. I
That's what I
lose
told
a
you. I
lot
got
of
my
stuff.
glasses from Amazon. I was like,
Hmm.
there gotta be another way.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. So yeah, I agree. Um. And then some stuff is just overpriced because of the
Right.
name. And then you go Google the company or meet the CEO. They in some type of racist group on Facebook or something.
Mhm.
Like, I just can't.
Right.
I believe in supporting black brands, but the same people that go out and spend thousands on Gucci or whatever had a problem when Kanye had a shoe that was on the pricey side. Y'all
Right.
go
Right.
pay it another race money, but don't want to support your own. And whether
Right.
it's expensive or not, just uplift the black brands.
Exactly.
Make them a status thing. We have the power to do
Right.
that.
Right.
Every type of business is catering to black people in this era.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Like
why don't
we
we
are the
cater to ourselves?
right. We are the popular demand. Like everybody wants something black. Like whether it
Hmm.
be music or fashion, everybody that's what people gear anything they're producing off of, whether it be even if it's like soda or something. There's gonna
They
be one
said
black
hot.
person in there
They had
in
Hot
the
Girl
commercial.
Summer on Old Navy commercial or something
I
like that.
can't. Not Old Navy talking about some hot girl summer.
It was
Not
like
in them striped t-shirts.
it was like hot something summer, and I was like,
Hmm.
clearly Megan's influence.
Right. I'm telling you. Um, this last topic I want to talk about because I saw this. There's people discussing this on TikTok.
Mm.
That's where I got a lot of my discussion posts, you guys, like from TikTok. But this girl saying like, what hairstyle does she think like attracts? Like, what hairstyle on her does she think attracts men the most?
Mm.
Or like, what different types of men do you notice you attract based off of your hairstyle? Um, and I feel like guys with me, just because I kept my hair short for so long, they be like, you need to have your hair long. It's like, whoa. Like guys are always pressuring me to get long hair. And I mean, of course, I mean, people like my short hair regardless. I mean, whatever style I have, but it's just like ever since I cut my hair, I noticed just like a lot of people ask me either why I cut it or I should get it long. And I'm just like, I don't want to. And it's just not because I don't think I look necessarily like good in it, but I feel like this is just a signature for me. Um, and I feel like definitely when I have long hair, I attract a different type of dude. Um, for sure. I think when I have long or straight hair, I definitely like attract like more of a superficial type dude. And then when I'm more like, I guess when my hair's cut short or like in braids, I could attract more like the artsy type of dude. Not all the time. This is like kind of in general what I notice, but I just feel like for me, like I feel most confident, with my short hair. And then like for me, it's like I'm not super attached to my hair. Like if no matter however I want my hair to be, I will do whatever I can to try to get that result. So whether that be relaxing it again, or cutting it, or letting it grow out, then that's what I'm gonna do. Or if I'm obsessed with a certain kind of color, I'm gonna get it that color. So that's just how I feel about like hair. Like, and I feel like people like I just like for me, I get kind of offended when people do tell me I actually have my hair long because it's like I get that what they're saying they think I look good with that, but she's like, you don't think I knew that? Like I just like my short hair. Like it's just like a staple for me. It's my signature. And when I try to explain that to people, they don't understand. But it's just like I feel like sometimes black women like they have like a attachment to our we have attachment to our hair. And I feel like we need to let that go because like as soon as we like do cut our hair, we get called bald headed. But if a white girl gets a cute little pixie cut, then it's a cute pixie cut. She's not bald headed. Or
Yeah.
it's like seeing the positive light. And it's just like and I think that's messed up. Or and it's like and then something else that I hate is like in the natural hair community, when like people are saying they want to cut their hair, they be like it'll be like a Facebook post and be like, "Ooh, I've been wanting to get my hair cut like this," but then it'll be like a bunch of like Mexican or mixed race women with their hair cut short, and it'll be like a little looser curl. And I'm like, this is the issue with that. That's what makes people like not like their own hair because they're thinking if they cut their hair, they're automatically gonna get a short, cute little short big loose curl type of pattern because that's what they portray online. But then when they actually cut their hair and they don't like how it looks. And I feel like depending on you and what you know, I feel like natural hair isn't that hard to manage. I just feel like some people don't like how their hair looks in some cases, not in everybody's case, because some people may not know what to do, and that's also a part of it too. But I feel like a lot of times people don't like how their hair looks. Um, and I feel like that's an issue like in the black community. Like, and I also saw on TikTok like this girl, she had wedding photos and she made sure like her wedding hair was natural, which I thought was cool because she was just like she feels like whenever black women are in a professional setting or doing something fancy, we feel like we have to straighten our hair. And I was like, that's so true. Or at least just get it done, period. But yeah.
Um, I feel like when my hair is longer, straighter, the attention is more immediate.
Hmm.
The type of guy may vary for all of them, but
Yeah.
the attention is more immediate.
Right.
If it's anything other than that, then the person may take more time to approach, or
Right.
I don't know what be going through their mind, but I know for sure that it's more immediate with like longer hair.
Right.
Um Sometimes I don't think color of it really makes a difference as long as it's just the fact about it being long.
I
Um
think color makes a difference because as soon as you get some pink or lime green hair,
oh, I
people
don't.
go crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like like people view like pink or like colored hair as something special. I mean, for me, it's just not my thing because I feel like people who rock it can really rock it. I feel like black women can rock all hair, all colors of hair. Period. And make that clear. And there's nothing wrong with like wearing colored wigs or anything like that. But I don't know. I guess maybe I don't think it's really an insecurity. It's just like I just can't picture myself wearing green hair or pink hair, like getting up in the morning and going to Walmart. It's like, okay. And it's like I feel like a lot of times the wigs, they only look cute on camera.
Yeah.
Because at least for me, whenever I have a wig on, like I don't really wear wigs like that. People be like, oh well, you need to learn how to pluck your wigs and slay them. It's just like I feel like even if you do learn all that, it's like just go get a blowout at that point. Because I feel
Yeah.
like either if you straighten up if a wig is supposed to be low maintenance, you're supposed to just put it on and that's the end of that. I'm not gonna be doing my edges every day, flat ironing it, plucking it. And it's just like, and for it to still only last like 3 days, like it just seems like a scam. Like,
Yeah.
like that's why I just can't with wigs. Like I tried it, but it's just like it look cute for pictures, but that's it. And I can't just realistically like I want to like when I go out with my hair, I want to make sure I feel confident. And I don't feel like I have to cover this up, and I don't want this to show. Like I hate going out like that. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I never really um I never really like thought about doing the pink wig. Like some looks are just, I feel like every trend everyone doesn't have to hop on. Like
right,
y'all want to do that, that's fine. Not my thing. Only other color I wear is like blonde, honey blonde, and I've
right,
contemplated red a couple times. But between those two, like just in reference to guys or whatever, like I feel like it don't really. They don't.
hmm,
They don't. That don't vary. But I also there's a difference just with how like people just in general
yeah,
interact with you depending on how your
right,
hair
right,
is,
right,
which is more so like a bigger uh topic to me because Like, just an example, like if you transact in business or going into like a bank or even going into a store, like people may
Mhm.
greet you quicker if you look a certain way
Right.
versus straight hair or weave or whatever versus
Mhm.
if you go in natural. So just like your presence, but I feel like you have to be, and I get sometimes society can influence your decisions, but I feel like you have to be, and for some people it takes time, but you have to, like for me, I don't want to be around a person that accepts me if I only look one way.
Right.
Like
Right.
if I always have to
That's
be
how I
on,
feel.
yeah, if I always have to be on 10, hair perfect, face perfect, outfit perfect, everything perfect. And then if it's not that way, then you're criticizing or you
Mhm.
treat me differently, then you're not a
Right.
person that I need to be around. You need to
Right.
be able to accept me when I first wake up. If my hair is frizzy, whatever, just accept me as who I am. And even
Right.
people in the outside world, like if I go somewhere and I notice that the person in the store treating me different ways I appear, and I'm not really, I'm not hard up to go in there because that's a form of discrimination. And
Yeah.
even like in the workplace, when it's time, like if you have an interview, like if I were to go into an interview with my hair natural, in a puff, I'm pretty sure the perception of me would be different if
Mhm.
I went in there with like jet black hair parted down the
Right.
middle. you know
Right.
it's unfortunate, but that's just like how society is.
Mhm.
And it's like just like with a little dirt topic, like things have been instilled in communities for generations. And I feel
Right.
like now we're just in an era where people are starting to fight those perceptions
Mhm.
and take a stand. But there's always going to be that exists. um
Right.
just for like going natural period, like for me, um because natural is something that I started maybe a couple times, like I tried
Mhm.
twice maybe like throughout my life, and I will always convert back to relaxers, not
Mhm.
dissing either one of them because they both serve their purpose.
Mhm.
But what really did it for me was like, um when Be- when Beyonce had Black is King, and there was like a little clip of her in blue. It was like doing like some high five game or whatever, and they
Mhm.
both were sitting there, both with natural hair, and it just looked so beautiful. And
Right.
then I started thinking about, like being a parent or just younger people. More so just being a parent, because in my head, like if I were to have a kid, like I want to have a daughter. And I was like, if I have a daughter, I have to lead by example. So I want my future kids, even if it's not a daughter, I want my future kids to look at me. And if I tell them, well, love yourself like how you are and embrace your natural self, like I can't tell them that and have myself a different way. Well, I
Mhm.
could, but I feel like it would be more effective if I match what I say. So
Right.
I want my if I were to have a daughter, I want her to look at me and see me as an example. And if your mom looks beautiful you know, in that style, then
Mhm.
that can make the kid more confident.
Right.
But so that moment really kind of was just like so beautiful to see them both there
Mhm.
naturally.
Right.
Um and it was powerful because not just a mother and a child, but just a lot of times young women just look up
Mhm.
to older or teenagers or young adult Black women that they
Right.
see.
Right.
It could be a little girl passing you in the store, or it could be a little boy passing you in the store.
Yep.
And how, if they can see you walking confidently in your power and in your
Yeah.
essence, they could look at that, and just one tiny incident could change like how they see stuff. So
Right.
I believe in that type of thing. And I think whether you're natural or relaxed or whatever, like just being confident in who you are, but
Right.
also not being afraid to like see yourself naturally,
Mhm.
even if you
Yeah.
decide to change. So, yeah, that's just how I feel on the
Right.
natural
Yeah,
products.
I agree completely. Like, That is just so important in the Black community. But yeah,
Oh, wait. And because you said black community, that made me think about like older people that may be around you and their criticism. Like, we have to be so important because now we are going to become the older people at some point.
right,
So I feel like, and just a little testimony, I feel like growing up, like if my hair was blonde, like that was like a subject for ridicule. Oh, well, and these are some of the things that people may have said. Oh, Tiffany, you want to be like a white girl because you put your hair blonde. That has, first of all, I don't even see white people like that. Like, I was
right.
never really around a lot of white people to have them have such a heavy influence on me changing my hair. Do y'all not see
Right.
Beyonce out there looking beautiful in this blonde? Like, I want to try that. I want to experiment.
What people
See,
don't realize is that our generation do not care about what white people think. Like
that is so
we do not
annoying.
we do not live our life based off what white people think. Like
And then sometimes, like when we're having just, conversations about hair, some things I've heard, oh, well, black people have the worst hair. From own black people. Black people have the worst hair. It's so hard to manage. Da 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 da. When black people have the most versatile hair ever existing.
right.
Like
It's
I
sad because they don't see the beauty in it. They
yeah.
look at it as a something that's stopping you from getting somewhere,
Yeah. And
as an
bec-
obstacle.
because society and the media has always displayed a white girl walking down the street with her hair flowing and told you
Looking
told
happy.
you that that was beautiful. But I get so fulfilled with joy like when I look at commercials now and I see the natural women. I even see them on cartoons. Like it
Right.
was a Jurassic Park cartoon that I was watching on Netflix, and one of the
Mhm.
little scientist lady,
You love Jurassic Park. Any way
one
you can consume Jurassic Park, you can just
and one of the little scientist ladies that was working with the kids' hair was just like mine on a
Mhm.
cartoon. Like,
That's important.
yes, yes. And you look at the commercials or YouTube or whatever, it's people with natural hair now. You go down the aisle in the hair store, it's millions of natural products. When I was younger, I used to get relaxers, and I would see my natural hair coming in, and I
Hmm.
would look at it like, ugh, what's this? It's time to get rid of
Right.
this. Not
Right.
knowing that's I can't talk about it. I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like it has such an effect on you and the way you view yourself. Like that's why, especially when you're talking about your kids and when you're doing their hair, you have to be careful. Even if you're struggling to do their hair, you have to be careful the way you talk about them and their hair because they hear that growing up, and that's how they're gonna think about themselves. And if they're a boy, that's how they're gonna think about women with that hair type. You know, like kids pay
Ooh,
attention to everything that you say. Like
you unlocked
it's
something
really
else
sad.
I wanna dive into, but I'm not gonna do it. I'll put that on the list for next week.
But yeah, that's just all my topics I have.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up our episode. I'm kind of hot over here now. I'm getting uh into it, but yeah. So thank you all for watching episode 7. Be sure to subscribe, follow us on social media, comment. I want to hear some feedback from y'all. If y'all got something to say about what we said today, put it in the comments. We'll get at you. And thanks for watching.